World War One video about Frank Luke, who was an American. He was born in Phoenix, May 19th, 1897, and he's the second leading fighter ace of the Americans, the American Army Air Force during World War One. He was flying Spot 13, which was Blériot's company. He had a bit of an abrasive character. He wasn't everybody's cup of tea. But one thing he did like to do was shoot down observation balloons. And frankly, that's probably the best thing you can do, because they're the things that are doing the killing. So he learned to fly. He got to the front quite late. Let me see if I can find the date. It was sort of May. I think it was May 1918. Yeah. And he already had a reputation for just going after balloons. And he had a wingman. He used to go out with his best mate, this dude called Vayner, I believe his name was. And unfortunately, a few days before, he was attacking some balloons. He shot down the balloons. Vayner was watching his back, but Vayner got shot down by some Albatross D7s. He swung around, Luke did, and he shot down those attacking aircraft. He got 3. But then he seems to have gone a tad off the rails because initially he was sent back home, or not back home to America, but sent away to recuperate, get his head right, and get over his grief for losing his friend. But now he's back for the Meuse-Argonne offensive. And he does something strange. He flies off to a nearby French aerodrome and lands there, probably because he's got mates there, whatever, or he wants to check them out, totally without orders. And his commanding officer is getting really annoyed at this point, and his commanding officer actually orders his arrest for going absent without leave. However, he disregards that. This is on September the 28th, 1918. And by this point, he's got something like 10 kills, pretty much all of which are balloons, other than those kills I mentioned of airplanes. So maybe 10 airplanes, 10 balloons, 4 airplanes, get that right. He takes off without orders, going balloon busting, and he's flying over the area near the Meuse. He drops a note from his plane down to where he can see that the artillery balloons are doing the spotting. And the note says, just watch those German balloons. There's a bunch of German balloons. It's dans ce Meuse, 6 miles behind the German lines. And this note that he drops just says, watch those balloons, see what I'm going to do. And he goes in to attack them, all by himself. His wingman, as I said, has been lost by this point, and he's gone out totally without orders just to go and shoot up some balloons. He flies at the balloons, and he shoots down 4 of them, 4 enemy balloons. But all the time, there's ground fire, and there's a nearby hill where they're probably above his plane because he's flying so low. And unfortunately, he gets 1 bullet from the ground fire that goes right through him. And if you look at any of these battle accounts, the bullet doesn't... They have so much energy, so much power, they don't stick in you, they go through you. And if you're enfiladed from the side, like Richthofen was when we look about his death, it goes right through your body. And you can imagine the wave of pressure that comes when a bullet does that. It's not just where the bullet hits, it's also that pressure wave that resounds around your body. So he's been mortally wounded. But either way, he's able to make a controlled landing, a decent landing, and he comes down despite this wound, and he pulls out his Colt service revolver, and the chambers on it, we know they're empty, so it would presume that he did fire. There's a group of Germans, because he's 6 miles behind German lines at this point. There's a load of Germans running up to take him prisoner. It would appear that he did fire his service revolver. As to whether he hit anyone, initial reports where he killed 6 Germans, that has been subsequently discredited. But either way, the Germans didn't like this dude, because when they're carting him off, his body, one of them had shot him again, I think, in the chest, killed him, finished him off. While they're carting him off, they want to cover him up out of respect. Some local French come up with a shroud that they want to put over his body, and the commander of that little unit won't allow it. He says, no, we're going to cart him off for everybody to see. And so 30th of September, the Germans buried him. But because of the offensive, soon the Americans took over that piece of ground, and his body was moved into the Meuse-Argonne American Cemetery and Memorial, so east of the village. So his body was disinterred, reburied with full honours, and he was given posthumously the Medal of Honour, and also he was given a posthumous promotion to first lieutenant, as Americans pronounce the word. So Frank Luke, clearly a very brave man, someone who didn't like authority. He was going to go off and get those Germans one way or the other. And if you destroy some artillery spotting balloons, well, you've probably saved hundreds of lives. So, it was a short career, but a blistering one. So big up Frank Luke.